It's Monday. It's time for Bagels and Business for breakfast. Good morning, Yvonne.
Good morning, Sharon. Good
It's
morning,
it's time
everybody.
for Bagels and Business for breakfast. How you doing, Yvonne? Go ahead, introduce yourself.
So I am Yvonne Lorraine with Innovative Visions, and I am always happy to be sharing my space with Sharon Taylor with the Business Vision Development Center.
And I'm
Thank you for
always
having me.
and I'm always so glad that you show up. So today we're going to talk about naming your business. So the beginning of the year, we start talking about business formation. And this is part of the business formation series. Step one was market research. Step two was the business plan. Step three was funding your business. All of a sudden, I lost. I had it right at the top of my head. You'll catch up. So today we're on step six. I'll have it before we're finished today. Step six is about your business name. And so when you think about your business name, not all of us, but me, I wanted something really catchy and cute and then I met with a brand identity expert who is Toluca Studio. And she was like, girl, no.
Right.
So my first name was Mind Your Own Business. That was what I wanted. And she was like, if somebody walked up to you and said, oh, tell me about your business, and you said it's mind your own business, what kind of connotation would that have?
Right.
So then we went through different iterations of what I wanted my business to reflect,
Mhm.
what my business does, and came up with the Business Vision and Development Center. And that's how I landed on that. How did you come up with innovative visions? Before you start, Yvonne, just let me get my notebook so I can see something real quick. Ugh.
Yep.
Okay, so I can get my steps in order, but go ahead. How did you
Well,
come
with
up with innovative
innovative,
vision?
yeah, with that name, I think by then I had figured out to try to have the name to reflect what I wanted. It was more about what I wanted other people to be able to do. I wanted to be able to innovate people, inspire people, and I wanted people to be able to live their visions out. And I wanted to be able to help it. So I'm sure I went through a process of different words, trying to see what two words I thought would reflect that type of thing.
And that's what I encourage our business owners to do. If you haven't already named your business, or even if you have, if somebody looks at it or sees it, do they know what kind of business you're in? Do they know what your goods and services are? And if they have to contemplate or have no clue, then you're starting off at a disadvantage. Now,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Now, Sharon, I would like, can I share some don't
Yeah.
do? Because before Innovative Visions and even sharing what you just shared, I can't say when somebody hears that they know what I do, but they have an idea of it should be something positive coming out of it. It's going to be something about visions to that point. But when I named the nonprofit, now I didn't have a clue. I knew I wanted to change lives, so I put life changing in there. That was easy. And back then they had CDC, which was community, everything had to have Community Development Corporation if you was a nonprofit. Now that took the name from those 2 words to 5 words. And that became a very long name, basically because of what the trend was at that time. So I don't know that I would have named it like that if I understood. I still would have tried to have life changing because everything we do is about changing people's lives. So I just wanted to share that because sometimes, and then trends change. So
Yes, that's important too, that you recognize that if you're going to grow, you should have a name that grows with you. And I thought about that myself when I did put center at the end.
mhm.
And I'm trying to think what I had at first. Business development, business vision, and I think I just had business vision and development. But I always knew that I wanted a brick and mortar. And so I put center on the end because I wanted it to be a place that people can go. And I've also played around with expanding it to more like an institution or something bigger. And even as I play with that, I still keep center because that's my brand, and just add like the Business Vision and Development Center Institute, where it's encompasses all types of business learning, research, and development. So I did put some thought into the name. So let's talk about some of the don'ts, the don'ts. Please don't pick an acronym that spells out a curse word or a name that's not professional.
Right.
You don't have nothing to add to that. And don't pick out generic names that nobody has a clue what it means. I mean, there's some cute names out there, but what does it mean? If your favorite color is burgundy and your business name is Burgundy, what does that really mean?
Yeah. So in other words, Sharon, I think you're trying to tell our viewers, don't come up with names that have no meaning to them.
Make sure they're not too long, not too wordy, because the other thing when you go to create your email address and your website, you don't want people spending all day typing in this information. Once they save it, okay, fine. But like for me, I have the bvdcenter.org versus the Business Vision and Development Center.org. So it's a little easier to one to look up if you need to email me or to go to my website.
Well, Sharon, I like to can I add to that also?
Of course.
Yeah, so and I have more experience on these things with the nonprofit name because I really didn't know what I was doing back then. And I'm not saying that I shouldn't have named it with the CDC, Community Development Corporation, but I think it's important for people to understand what things mean. So for LCCDC, it's fine because we are actually a corporation with other entities under us.
Yes.
So that name reflects really what we're doing. But sometimes I think, if you don't take time to understand that, and sometimes people are naming programs for their business name, you need to understand the difference. Is that your program name or is that actually your business name?
And we've had that discussion before when we went through, is this a signature program? Is this a premier program? Is it a program? Is it its own entity? So we've had discussions on that. And names are important because after you get your EIN and all of that stuff, and you are pretty much stuck with that name unless you want to go over the whole process all over again. I want to talk a little bit about people that name businesses after themselves. What do you think about that? Yvonne Lorraine Enterprises.
Oh, so thinking about it like that, if I ever do that, it's going to be a purpose for that because that's going to be my legacy entity. If I when I think about a name, a business named after me, there is some family legacy for me. That's what I would think I'm doing, Sharon, if I'm gonna do that.
And I agree with that. For me, if you're gonna give your business your name, I think first you should be well established so people know. You don't want it to be Taylor, the Taylor Center, Taylor who, so and naming your business after yourself, unless you've created a brand, again, nobody knows what that business is. They just see a name, LLC, Taylor LLC, or Yvonne Lorraine LLC. So give yourself a chance to grow if you want to use your name to create legacy. And that's what I would say about naming your business after yourself. And then there's always chances of liability because now your name is associated with your business. So you want to make sure you check with your legal team or attorney to make sure, even though you're an LLC or S Corp, that because you named your business after yourself, you don't expose yourself to any type of liability.
I agree. Totally.
The other thing I want you to kind of stay away from is naming your business too similar to your competition. You know how people have the knockoffs? You got Nike, Nike, then you got Nike over here, Nike.
True.
So stand out, make sure it has meaning, make sure it's not too wordy or too long, and give some idea of what the business is about. And then also break it down into an acronym to make sure it doesn't spell something that is off-putting, like BVDC. I looked at that. When I did Mind Your Own Business, it was MYOB, which I thought was the cutest thing in the world. But anyway, so I want you to think about those things before you name your business. Would you like to add anything else, Yvonne?
Yes, I would like to speak to the creative minds because we know in business, there are structures and there are things and do's that we say are the best practices. And sometimes for that creative mind, because I can even remember with Innovative Visions, the way I spelled visions, VIZIONS, I'm sure I had heard, well, it's gonna be hard for people to search and you should just spell it the regular way, but I didn't want it spelled the regular way. So I just want the creative mind. And for those, you know what I'm saying, if you want to take that risk in what you actually want for your name of your business, do that, just knowing that, the things that Sharon and I have shared earlier may be a part of that. But just wanted to encourage those, to not feel like you can't really do your business name the way that you want to, and make sure that it's available before you put it out there.
That's right, Yvonne. So again, this was step 6 in the Business Formation series, naming your business. And I got my other step 1 was marketing research. Step 2 was business plan. Step 3 was fund your business. Step 4, business location. And today with step 5, business structure. If you need to go back and look at any of the other formations that we've done, please go on YouTube, look us up on Bagels and Business for Breakfast, and see all the other programming that we have. And online courses, workshops, and presentations are all coming. And thank you for joining us this morning on Bagels and Business for Breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Like, share, and subscribe.